Huddersfield, Cardiff and Fulham, well, they will make their way back down to the Championship. Sheffield United, either Aston Villa and Derby, or Norwich joining them in the Premier League next season. And we've got a Norwich City legend on the sofa right now.
We've got to get this out the way first.
I knew this was
Let's
coming.
get this out the way.
What could you possibly want to talk about?
Just to let the listeners know.
Yeah.
You are sitting there in a Leicester City shirt.
I am.
With Maguire on the back. Is it signed as well?
It is also signed.
And you're just trying to get as much out of it as you can before he leaves?
Well, you know, as a Leicester fan working at TalkSport, naturally, you've been talking about Harry Maguire non-stop for weeks. And then I realised for the last year, I've had this Harry Maguire shirt signed, hung up in my wardrobe. I'm thinking, well, what am I going to do with it? Because the moment he signs for Manchester United, it's worthless. Hey, welcome back to Charlton.
Yeah, it's a bit weird being back. I haven't been back too many times since I left, but no, I've had some great memories here, and saying to you before, I pretty much grew up here, so it's great to be back, and always more surreal when there's no one here.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Yeah.
We're going to take a look ahead to the big Premier League fixture this weekend, which is not Leicester against Sheffield United. I've been reliably informed. It is, in fact, Arsenal's trip up to the European champions, Liverpool. Yeah. And coming up in your Friday sports section, we're down at Snetterton for the latest round of the British Touring Car Championships. We're going to be chatting to and driving with the current reigning champion, Gordon Shedden.
Let's get the latest from Jake Watson.
Well, it's half-time here at the Emirates between Arsenal and Lyon, and Arsenal lead at the break by a goal to nil. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang scoring late on in that first half.
This Ozil thing is rumbling on, which is...
I was going to ask, not in the squad at all again today.
Yeah, I mean, I can't understand that. It doesn't make sense to me. You know, he's not performed to the best of his ability at Arsenal, there's no doubt about that. But he's good enough to be in the 18.
Very good evening, you're listening to TalkSport 2 tonight with me, Jake Watson, and these are your headlines. It finished all square in the North London derby as Arsenal fought back from 2-0 down to draw 2-2 with Spurs.
OK, let's see how the 4 remaining matches turned out. Jake Watson's got the details with some of the teams in and around the early playoff picture.
Barrow ended a run of 3 consecutive defeats last weekend, and they carried that momentum into this week as John Rooney scored this free kick. He'll tell you it was definitely a shot, but I'm sure the Solihull boss Tim Flowers will have something to say about the goalkeeping. And on the stroke of half-time, Rooney was at it again. No question he was shooting this time. That's the midfielder's 4th goal this season. No doubt John's older brother Wayne will approve of his younger sibling's performance. Solihull have been struggling lately, 4 games without a win, and this one was all but lost just after the break. Scott Quigley scoring his 5th of the season. Maurizio Sarri was hounded out by the Chelsea fans, despite the fact in his first ever season in the Premier League, he led them to 3rd place and the Europa League title. In comes Stamford Bridge legend Frank Lampard, who'd done OK in his 1 season at Derby County. And I know it's only 1 game into the Premier League season, but maybe Maurizio Sarri wasn't that bad after all. So yeah, we've been talking lots of transfers this hour. Xherdan Shaqiri was a big one, but we're joined now by TalkSport's man up in the northwest, Graham Beecroft. There's some very interesting things coming out from up your way in Everton and Liverpool. Will start with Ademola Lookman. Could he be set to leave Everton permanently?